Hello, I'm John Tate, making a video at 4 AM. The government decides a public holiday. We've got a new king. I don't want to talk about the king or Queen Gorbachev, the queen that lives the life of, what was it, duty, some shit like that, and country, and sitting around and waving at people. And she's sort of a Queen Gorbachev. She's got a legacy of sitting around and not using her power that makes it good. But I want to talk about macroeconomics, and the people who talk about macroeconomics are usually politicians like Jim Chalmers, Josh Frydenberg. Buge's the word for bong in Australia. Smoke 'em back in the day. Anyway, and Wayne Swan, who had a master's degree in public administration, not economics, and Peter Costello, whose economy was rocking. That's all due to our hard work, but he does have a degree in economics and a master's degree. This Malcolm Turnbull probably wished he was treasurer, but why Malcolm Turnbull no longer work at the investment bank and become a politician? Because they're all malinvestments. What creates malinvestments? Macroeconomics and the Reserve Bank. They make their interest rate decisions based off a consumer price index, a statistic that isn't collected often enough in this country, or in any synchronization with the Reserve Bank meeting. At the first Tuesday of every month in Australia, the Reserve Bank have this meeting. They can change the interest rate based on the data they've got, even if they haven't got the data yet, because it's a stupid schedule. It has nothing to do with the schedule of the Australian Bureau of Statistics. It's just so next level stupid, the system in this country for measuring the economy. I'll get to the next bit. Prices, whatever I sell shit for, and someone happens to actually want to buy it for them. It's like that thing on eBay that sits there, buy it now for 6 months, and they've got one of them, and because the price is too damn high. That's not a real price because it never sold, right? So there's a buyer and a seller. On stock markets, more complicated markets, finance people use this, a bid and an ask, which is the same bloody thing. Someone bids, someone asks, a deal happens. Well, a bunch of people really, and a deal lines up in the computers, all shit like that. Anyway, the idea that all prices move in lockstep, which is the inherent problem using the consumer price index on its own, and the Australian Bureau of Statistics have other statistics, but no one bothers talking about them, especially not the politicians, and not the main page of the Reserve Bank. If you click its little inflation number for CPI, it doesn't give you more data within, really. It might give you a little. It'll give you a historical trend a bit, and a shitty one that's quarterly, every 3 months. And I think the economy's more complex than that. And then there's the deal with oil and all this. And anyway, so they're completely blind. They do have their open market operations where they can meddle in the economy by just printing money out of thin air to buy shit and assets and stuff like that, and fuck around, and they have a shit amount of gold and stuff. Probably middle class people, the ratio of their wealth and budget planning for the future more sensible than the Reserve Bank than gold. And it just goes on and on forever. And it's funny, because in a way, this is just parts of the supermarket shelves that are empty. And anyway, despite all this, this is cheap. And this is a Swiss chocolate. It's kind of pricey. It's the same price I've always paid. It's been on special every time I've been in the supermarket, and I live right near a supermarket. I'm there every day. It's my walk. I go on a few walks. I like to stay thin. I became a chungus for a bit a couple of years ago. Got to 93 kilograms and thought, you've got to walk. And you've got to not have macroeconomics these politicians talk about. In fact, if a politician talks about the economy, if it's a lie, and then when another politician comes in, they might prove it's a lie. And let's say a politician also says something else about the economy that's true, and they do that, and another politician will come in, and another party in the political cycle fuck all of that up, and then everything the politician before was saying about the economy is a lie, because nothing they do has any principle that can apply to the whole universe. Like, good economics that worries about the price on sells for money will realise if someone's selling something for money in Alpha Centauri, it's going to be a very similar system. And the best reason to buy something is reason, and because it's good for you and fucking tasty and stuff like that. And that's what capitalism's actually about. And the politicians look like this mad numbers game about running a fucking greyhound race on the GDP output, which is another bullshit macroeconomic figure like CPI I'm talking about because of the inflation. And the bullshit GDP goes, the racehorse of Australia is winning, and we're the 7th most prosperous place in all of the G20, and this and that. And we're this tiny country. And so some things that kind of matter, averages and maths a bit, it can matter. We have really great medium wages here. We live good lives. And we waste so much of that on these stinking politicians. And they have got to go. Because we could all have so much more of this. That's all. That's all. if I seem angry to you, I'm just a bit autistic. I'm passionate. I'm impassioned at the moment. I'm inflamed. And these politicians, yes, they deserve anger. They need to go. They really need to go. They need to go like people on the Linux kernel project go, because Linus Torvalds bullied them. And if a politician ever sees this somehow, because I'm a celebrity, which isn't happening, my friends, these people are sick. And what things like GDP and CPI and what the economy's doing, I'm sure it fuels the megalomania of a Peter Costello, of a Wayne Swan, and all these other fucking complete idiots. Yes, it disgusts me is the thing. The macroeconomics is something that disgusts me, and it's just so moronic. It's like moon landing conspiracies and stuff. Like the real moon landings, a zillion lines of code, all these satellite dishes and communications equipment, and just hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people in the economy working and eating chocolates. And then some guy goes, "Oh, there's so much radiation, they don't know brain cells," because I'm not a scientist. But once I worked at once I was near a phone tower and I got a cough, you know, or something like that, and all this anecdotal bullshit, and, you know, this is just insane. Believing macroeconomics is about as simpleton as that. It gets this huge economy, like I was talking about the moon landing, what actually did it, and all this work people did, and says, "Oh, Peter Costello kept the interest rates nice and variable, and the capital structure was more nicely arranged." These cunts are just deranged. Koshy on TV, you watch Current Affair and he made economics there. Deranged. And they're part of the game. Just fucking get rid of them. Stop voting for them.